This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm always looking for ways to show my cat how much I love her. And with Fancy Feast gems, I can pamper her whenever I want with a savory gravy on top of a gourmet mousse pâté. The pyramid shape makes serving simple, so all I have to do is peel and plate to make mealtime feel extra fancy. And with 2 entrees in every pack, it's easy to turn every day into the extraordinary. Fancy Feast gems.
Hello, this is Doyle. You're listening to Spirit Talk Show, bedtime stories for grown-ups. We are still doing our AI-generated stories. If you guys would like to get involved, go to spirittalkshow.com. See all the information there about past shows. See our amazing growth over the last month. Thank you so much for everybody that's listening. We're almost at 100K listeners right now. That is amazing. Thanks so much for that. And today on the podcast, we're excited to welcome Mike Tentis, a University of Minnesota alum with a background of horticultural science. Mike built his marketing career focusing on jobs in the green industry and higher education. He is also a proud member of the LGBTQ community and a longtime member of the Sacramento Gay Men's Chorus. Mike's work today bridges the gap between health sciences, marketing, and education. We're thrilled to have him in the studio. Welcome, Mike.
Well, it is truly a wonderful experience to be here. I've been looking forward to this for some time, Trevor.
I've been trying to get you tied down to this for a while. I think you're like a busy man, I think.
I have a busy schedule, but I'm here and we are going to have some fun tonight and tell some stories that hopefully will entertain and engage your listeners.
Well, I hope so. There's a lot of people listening. You work at a college locally. You're like producing the next nurses in our community.
Indeed, I do. I work at University of the Pacific's School of Health Sciences with 10 programs spread across 3 campuses in Sacramento, Stockton, and San Francisco. We produced professionals, healthcare professionals, and allied to doctors. We produce graduates who have degrees in everything from nursing to audiology to physical therapy, physician assistant, social work, and there's 10 of them all together.
So how does someone, before we turned on the recording, you were talking about your first career as a groundskeeper at a golf course? How does a groundskeeper from Minnesota end up being this big wig at a college?
I think it's a natural progression.
Is it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, my degree was in horticultural science with an emphasis in turfgrass management. How's that for esoteric? And it was an interesting career. I worked in that industry for 23 years. I had a lot of fun, made a lot of friends who I'm still in touch with. But what I was really doing was marketing and sales. So okay. I was the same work that I do today, but it's just marketing.
Oh, was that in Sacramento or on the...
All in Sacramento.
Did you have any career in the Midwest, or did you just...
Only in college.
In college, and then you moved...
Then I moved here. My first job, I moved here in 1987, and I haven't left.
So you graduated college in 1987, and you offered a job in Sacramento right away.
Yep.
And when did you meet that beautiful partner of yours?
That was the 4th of July, 1991, almost 34 years ago.
Wow. Yeah, you guys have this, it's like this pariah in the gay world, a long time relationship, and you seem to have this perfect life.
Well, I don't know that anyone's life is truly perfect, but the parts that I share with the outside world probably look perfect. But.
Okay, good. Well, I don't know how I feel about that. Okay. Well, I think we all are the man behind the curtain. So, we read these stories on here, and the one thing I like to do is write a tribute story to people. So do you want to read your tribute story? So here we go. Now, again, it's if you don't want to read it, or if there's something in there that's not true, we can stop and talk about it, and we can say that's not true, whatever. Or we could just like read it all the way through, and then.
Well, we are going to test AI today, and we're just going to see what AI says based on the sources you found on the interwebs.
And now, you know that our first impression tonight was probably not great because it didn't mess up your introduction. So Mike came in the studio and proceeded to like re-edit his introduction because AI had gotten some stuff wrong. Okay, so when you're ready, let's go ahead and read.
So this tribute to Mike Tentis is an AI-produced affair. Here we go. The tagline is "The Heart Behind the Harmony." Some people lead with their voice, others with their vision. Mike Tentis does both with unwavering purpose, unmistakable heart, and a spark of joy that makes even the quietest rooms hum with possibility.
So far, right?
Born with Midwestern roots and raised on values of hard work and integrity, Mike is a proud alumnus of the University of Minnesota's College of Food, Agricultural, and Natural Resource Sciences. With a degree in horticulture, he could have spent a career teaching in classrooms or advising in the field, but Mike's calling would take him far beyond crops and curriculum. His path led to Sacramento, California, a place where his passion for people, communication, and community could truly blossom. Over the decades, Mike has built an inspiring career in marketing and communications, lending his talents to some of the most impactful nonprofit organizations in the Sacramento region. His work has helped elevate causes, tell compelling stories, and connect individuals and communities in ways that endure long after the campaign ends. Whether crafting brand strategy or rolling up his sleeves to organize a grassroots event, Mike brings authenticity, creativity, and care to everything he touches. Yet perhaps his most enduring impact has come through the arts and through the rich, resonant, and unapologetically fabulous world of choral music. For more than 37 years, Mike has been an integral member of the Sacramento Gay Men's Chorus. As a performer, leader, mentor, and former president of the board, he's helped the chorus grow into one of Sacramento's most beloved and visible LGBTQ+ organizations. To Mike, the chorus has always been more than music. It's been a home, a family, a beacon. Under his leadership, the group expanded its outreach, deepened its commitment to diversity, and performed a concert that touched lives and opened minds. Mike is known for his thoughtful guidance and his generous spirit, but also for his sense of humor and irrepressible charm. Mm-hmm. Whether he's nailing a solo or emceeing a holiday show in sequins and sass, Mike knows how to leave a lasting impression. What sets Mike apart isn't just his resume or his repertoire. It's his rare ability to make everyone around him feel seen, heard, and valued. He listens deeply and laughs often. And he leads not with ego, but with empathy. In the sometimes noisy world of advocacy, Mike's is a voice of clarity and calm, lifting others up while never needing to stand in the spotlight himself. He's also known for his flair, a sharp wit, a deep love of show tunes, and a legendary ability to pair wine with just about anything, including a good fundraising pitch. He's the kind of person who remembers your dog's name, your birthday, and the exact lyrics to a song you sang once at a cabaret 5 years ago. And in every space he enters, from nonprofit boardrooms to backstage green rooms, Mike brings not just professionalism, but soul. His legacy is stitched into the harmonies he's helped build, the bridges he's helped cross, and the countless lives he's touched by simply being himself. In honoring Mike Tentis, we honor a life in full chorus, a life rooted in service, powered by story, and elevated by song. He reminds us that pride is not just about visibility, it's about purpose. And that community isn't something we find, it's something we build. One note, one laugh, one act of courage at a time. So here's to Mike, the heartbeat of the harmony, the soul of the chorus, and a shining example of what it means to live out loud and lead with love.
Wow, I think I've known you now for through 3 years, and I think there's a lot of truth in that story.
I'm flattered that AI came up with all of that. That was very generous.
And I know there was some stuff that you read differently. Like apparently it got your years in the course wrong, and it also got your degree wrong. It said agricultural education. It said, why do you think it said 20 years in the course? Maybe that's because when the article...
Could have been in the article, depending on when it was sourced.
Yeah. So
I joined the course in 1988.
It really captured you in one part here. One part it talked about your, where is it? I think it was, he's known for flair, his sharp wit and deep love of show tunes. I don't know if you know show tunes.
I love show tunes.
And
I've been a subscriber to Broadway at Music Circus and Music Circus since 1991.
And this line seems to be, I've known you. I know that I joined the chorus. And one day I think you noticed me like feeling out of place or looking like I was out of place. And because I was new to the chorus, and you made a point of coming over and, grabbing my shoulders and making me feel included. And I think that's in this sentence is indicative of that. He's the kind of person who remembers your dog's name, your birthday, and the exact lyrics to a song you sang once in Cabaret 5 years ago. I think that was...
That is something that I have done throughout my life. I'm keenly sensitive to looking at the room and seeing who looks like they're just not quite having fun or connecting with everyone. And I try to do what I can to support making everyone feel like they're part of the party, so to speak.
Well, it was really cool. I was touched because I know I'd been there probably for about 5 weeks, and I was getting close to, maybe this isn't for me. And maybe this isn't for me because I didn't feel like I was connecting with people. But that was the beginning. I connected with you, and then I connected with someone else. And I think you invited me to a party at your house. And then I met people, and then I've made friends that are so, like, phenomenally past, like anybody I've experienced in my life. And it's like this family. And that's what I came for, right? So I think that story really was really cool and touching. I liked it.
AI for the win.
AI for the win. And, I can't see anything wrong with it. I mean, it got your degree wrong. It got your linear path. It seemed like it's great. I liked it. So would you use that story? Would you send it?
Well, I kind of think it should be used at my funeral. I don't know.
Well, if in 40 years, if I'm still around, I can bring it to your funeral. So do you want to do something a little bit fun and do a script to get together?
Absolutely. I'd love to do a script.
So we're going to, I have a script here. And again, all these stories we have here are related to things about your life. So this script right here is called The Chorus Signal. And there's a character named Mike, a seasoned communication specialist, a longtime member of Interstellar Chorus, charming, grounded, witty, and deeply intuitive. That sounds like you, right? That should be your part. And my part is Vex 7. I mean, you can be Vex 7 if you want, but Vex 7, a humanoid AI diplomat in training from the Vega system, inclusive, literal, and trying to understand the concept of the human vibe. So do you want to be Mike or Vex 7?
I already know what Mike is all about, I think Vex 7 would be more fun for me.
Okay, so you be Vex 7. Remember, you're an AI diplomat robot kind of person. So what I'd like you to do, too, is to see, like, the intros and this stuff, the expose stuff, if you could read that as well. Okay, so when you're ready. Oh, that means interior. It's a scripting thing.
So we're setting is the interior of Starship orbiting Earth on the communications deck. It's night in Earth time. The ship hums with quiet energy. The displays flicker. Mike sits before a glowing console, sipping synth wine. Behind him, Vex 7 enters, scanning a music chip with visible confusion. Mike Tentis, I reviewed the chorus broadcast you submitted to Galactic Harmony Command. I have inquiries.
That's what I'm here for, Vex. Shoot.
You labeled the file Seasonal Sparkle, 300 Years of Queer Joy. Is sparkle a measurement? Also, is the high note in the third verse a weapon?
Not unless you're trying to sing it after Prosecco. Sparkle is a mood, a vibe, emotional resonance.
You often reference vibe. I have downloaded 43 possible definitions and still cannot grasp its physics.
That's the thing. You don't measure vibe. You feel it. The same with harmony. The high note, that's not just pitch, it's presence. It's 50 voices saying, we're still here.
Ah, resistance chorus. Weaponized resilience. Very efficient.
Well, not wrong.
Still, the chorus of Vega Prime does not sing about love or struggle. They sing about authorized ship procedures and planetary taxes.
That's not a chorus. That's a nightmare. Tell me something, Vex. Why did you volunteer to be the Earth liaison?
To study emotional transmission through sound. Galactic Command said humans were unusually expressive.
We are, because we've had to be. When history deletes you, music remembers you.
That is beautiful. May I quote you?
You better. I used a line on our Pride poster back in Sacramento in 2042, made half the audience cry.
Fascinating. You are also responsible for Sing Loud, Sing Proud, Save the Galaxy.
I was marketing degree and 20 years in the Sacramento Gamers course. Actually, it was 37 years in the Sacramento Gamers course. I know how to pitch.
Would you consider consulting for Vega Prime's anthem redesign?
Depends. Can we add a key change with a glitter cannon?
I will authorize it immediately. They both smile as the comm panel lights up. A signal pulses, a frequency Mike recognizes instantly.
Wait, that's not a routine ping. That's an old Earth pattern. It's Morse code.
Translation complete. Message reads, hearts still beating, voices still strong. Send harmony.
Vex, that's the outpost on Pluto. They're alive.
Coordinates locked. Do we proceed?
Damn right we do. Warm up the vocal processors. It's time to bring the music back to the edges of the solar system.
Mike Tentis, I believe I am feeling the vibe.
Now you're getting it.
The ship hums louder as it angles towards the stars. Music swells. An ancient Earth chorus begins to play, full of love, resistance, and joy.
Fade out. What did you think of that story, of that script?
Oh, I thought it was fun. I enjoyed playing someone other than myself.
Yes. Well, you did it really well. You had kind of a mix between...
my accents shifted over time.
But you were, I think I was going to say I thought it was consistent. You kind of did a mix between like the Earth Stood Still character, the day the Earth stood still, and Data. So there was there was a good mix there. So, so what... would you like to read a poem about a boy from Minnesota?
You know, if AI hasn't failed us yet. We've had 2 wins, so let's go for 3.
I think this is, I think you're up. Oh, but by the way, I think this is in the style of Dr. Seuss, if that helps you with the meter, right?
So here we go. The Boy with the Boots Full of Moo, by someone who knew a Mike just like you. In the middle of Minnesotaopolis Flats, where the grass grew as high as the farmers' straw hats, there lived a young boy with a cap full of flair who once braided a cow's tail into his hair. His name, it was Mike, with a smile kind and bright, and he woke every morning before there was light. His boots were all muddy, his flannel was torn, but he sang as he milked in the chill of the morn. Good morning, he'd cheer to the cows in a row. They'd moo right on back like a barnyard echo. For Mike had a gift that he barely yet knew. He could yodel and moo in harmonious moo. Now the farm folks would say, "That's a curious sound," as his tunes floated out through the trees and the ground. "He's odd," said old Ned, "not a farmer, I fear. His hands are too gentle, his boots too sincere." But Mike didn't mind. He just hummed with the hay and sang lullabies to the calves as they lay. He'd whisper to hens and waltz with the sheep, and the barn critters loved him down deep. Then one snowy eve, with the moon shining wide, a music truck stalled by the pasture outside. The choir folks inside on their way to Duluth were freezing and frantic and losing a tooth. They knocked on the barn and they shouted, "Hello! Do you have any blankets or cocoa or snow?" Mike nodded and said, "We've got moon juice and song." And he led them inside where the fire was strong. They warmed up with cocoa, with cookies and jam, and Mike made them all laugh with a cow naming Slam. But then they heard music, a yodel, a moo, a blend that was baffling but honest and true. The choir folk gasped, "Young man, that's your gift. We must take your voice on a musical lift." And though he loved cows and the cluck of the pen, Mike packed up a satchel and counted to 10. He waved to the hay, to the mud, to the coop, and joined up with choristers, quite a fine group. From that day to this, whether touring or home, he brings all the warmth of that old dairy dome. For though he now sings on a shimmering stage, his boots still have moo marks from back in that age. So if you ever doubt what a moo song can do, just think of young Mike and belt out a...
With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love, starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, "I'm casual but cool." Sparkly sneakers that say, "It's my classroom, you're just learning in it." And preppy polos that say, "I'm the teacher's pet," even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks, or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Visit USAA.com/bundle.
Bundle savings are off total premium, not available in all states or in all situations. To qualify, auto policy must be active prior to property policy issue, subject to change. Restrictions apply. Membership eligibility and product restrictions apply and are subject to change. USAA means United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
Moo. That was really sweet, and you read it so well. You're killing me, Smalls. Wow.
You know, I didn't tell you that I was on the speech team in high school.
It was on point. You're like winning at life right now. Oh my gosh. I was feeling a little bit verklempt, like he needs to be doing this show. Not this stuttering Irishman.
No.
Okay. So I think it was really sweet. And I liked the arc was that he just loved his cows and reading and yodeling. And then these people saw his gift.
Yodele,
Yodele, he moo.
yodele,
moo. That's it. So wait, you were on the speech team in school?
I was. I competed in...
You're talking about Toastmasters?
No, on the high school speech team. So I would go to speech competitions and prepare speeches and
you won?
You placed. It's less about winning in speech, and it's more about the act of practicing and really preparing a piece to nail. But it helped me to not be afraid of being in front of people and speaking, which is what led to my success in sales and marketing.
That's good. I think speech class is where the world is flat came from because you remember in speech class you sometimes have to do a speech on a debate of a topic you don't believe in and present it in an intellectual, coherent way. I think it's what happened with the flat Earth. People started saying that, and like other people heard their thing and they actually thought that sounds convincing, because the Earth is definitely a globe. Okay, well, hey, there's another. Do you want to read your? Would you like to read your golf one that we made?
Oh, that could be interesting. This is a fresh.
Okay, this is fresh off the press. And after this, we'll do a script. Okay, so typically we take turns reading, but I love your voice. So do you want to read again?
I'm happy to read.
Please
so
do.
this piece is called Greens of Desire. Fabian DeWitt had two passions in life, turfgrass management and sequined visors.
Fabulous.
As the head groundskeeper of Maple Knoll Country Club, he could spot a divot from 50 yards and diagnose fungal blight faster than a dermatologist on espresso. Fabian prided himself on perfection, pristine fairways, geometric mowing lines, and flower beds that would make Versailles weep. Then came him. He was fast. He was furry. He had teeth like a chainsaw and zero respect for landscape design. His name was Gary. Gary the Gopher. A buck-toothed anarchist with a knack for popping up mid-putt and mooning elite gophers before vanishing underground like a tiny hairy Houdini. "You little subterranean sociopath!" Fabian shrieked one Tuesday morning, shaking his rainbow-handled rake as a fresh pile of dirt erupted on the 9th green. Gary popped his head up, winked, then pulled a marigold from Fabian's prized border like it was a rose in a magic act. This continued for weeks, Fabian laying traps, Gary outwitting him with what Fabian called rat-like radar. Gaydar! Although in truth, Gary was more pan-curious with a flair for mischief. The country club board was losing patience. So was Fabian. "I've installed sonic deterrents, pheromone repellents, and a playlist of Megan Trainor. Nothing works!" Gary, overhearing this from his tunnel, sighed. Deep down, he kind of missed the drama. Fabian had flair and calves, big ones, from all the mowing. One night, under a full moon and a mild wine buzz, Fabian wandered out to the 12th hole and sat by a gopher mound with a flashlight and a peace offering, a strawberry Pop-Tart. "Look, Gary, I don't want to exterminate you. I just want coexistence. Also, maybe you could stop eating the petunias?" Gary popped his head out, sniffed, took the Pop-Tart. In an unprecedented moment of detente, he climbed onto Fabian's knee, curled his tail around his paw, and farted. It smelled like dirt and dandelions. They both stared at the stars for a moment. From that night on, they struck a deal. Gary stayed off the greens. Fabian stopped blasting ABBA through the sprinkler system. Occasionally, they shared snacks, and every so often, Fabian swore he saw tiny gopher bouquets left outside his shed, crafted from weeds and snack bar napkins. Love, like turfgrass, is resilient. It grows through cracks, laughs at the rules, and sometimes smells a little funky. But under the right conditions, it's fabulous.
Wow, I kind of like that.
That was cute.
It was cute.
I like. There were some nice surprises in that.
Yeah, I liked how it was just total hate at the beginning, and it turned in. I don't know where the farted seemed a little out of left field.
That was odd
because it seemed like what they were trying to say is he curled up on his knee to befriend him. But farting doesn't sound like a very befriending thing to do.
No.
But apparently he didn't mind because they still became best friends, right? Wow. So what'd you think of that story?
You know, I think we might be at 4 for 4 with ChatGPT.
Well, I do have another script that I wrote. It's called Cows, Course, and Creamer, but it has 3 characters. So somebody has to be a cow, and someone has to be Mike Tentis. It must be Mike. Mike, a snarky musical farmer boy who now works in communications but is back visiting the family farm. Ma Tentis, his no-nonsense, brutally honest Minnesota mother. Is that how we...
I will actually be going home to the family farm in 2 weeks to see her, yes.
Is your mom a no-nonsense, brutally honest Minnesota mother?
Mostly.
Yeah, mostly. And a sassy cow. Yes, she talks. It's kind of a comedy. Okay. So do you want to be Ma Tentis or Mike? And do you want to be Bessie too?
How about if I'm Mike and Bessie?
Okay, you're Mike and Bessie, and I'll read this stuff this time. Okay.
Okay.
So am I Ma Tentis then? Yeah. Wait, you're Mike and Bessie, and I'm Ma Tentis. Okay. Interior. Tentis family farm, kitchen, morning. Maybe this is what's going to happen in a few weeks. Mike walks in wearing a color-coordinated parka and boots. that have never seen a real puddle. He's holding a cappuccino with oat milk. Mike, is that coffee or some kind of big city foot lotion?
It's oat milk, Ma. Oat, as in non-dairy. I've evolved.
You grew up milking cows at 5 a.m. It's negative 20 degrees. You used to snack on frozen udder cream.
That was one time, and I thought it was Cool Whip.
Well, it whipped you right into lactose intolerance, didn't it?
Anyway, I'm just here to decompress. No drama, no Wi-Fi, just me and the cows.
Well, you better decompress fast because Bessie backed up and Dad's gout is flaring up.
Mom, I worked in nonprofit strategic messaging now. I have delicate hands.
You also have gloves. Get out to the barn. In the barn, moments later, Mike tiptoes through the hay like it's lava. Bessie, a large cow with judgmental face, stares at him. She's chewing slowly, too slowly. Okay. Oh, you're going to have to do both voices there.
Hey, girl, remember me? I'm the one who used to sing Defying Gravity while milking you.
They didn't know he was gay.
Vividly. You hit that high note once and I didn't give milk for 3 days. Wow. You speak now. Since when? Since you walked in here smelling like espresso and regret. Look, Bessie, I'm just here for a little nostalgia, some fresh air, maybe find my roots, not get dragged into barnyard therapy. You can't find your roots when your hair's frosted, honey. It's intentionally sun-kissed. You used to be tough. You used to sing to the calves and charm the neighbors. Now you flinch when a chicken looks at you sideways. Well, they do look aggressive, shifty little velociraptors. You know what your problem is? You left the dairy behind, but the drama followed you. No, Bess, I brought the drama on purpose. I am the drama.
Interior barn later. Mike is now in full overalls, holding a pitchfork like a Broadway prop. Music swells. He's doing a musical number. Oh, no.
I left the cows, but the cows never left me. From haystack dreams to nonprofit schemes, I still hear that moo in every harmony.
Mike Tentis walks in, holding a shovel and unimpressed. You done milking, or is it another one of your TikToks?
Both. God help us all.
You did the cow so well. I love the cow. And the cow sounded like she was from New Jersey.
I had to do something different because I didn't really have a Joan Rivers like the prompt suggested.
So you don't do Joan?
She became more of a Kardashian.
Kardashian, or like some kind of New Jersey. Hey, I'm walking here. And you did Mike well. And of course, this is a like a beautiful depiction of your mother, of course.
Absolutely.
No.
Very loving, very loving.
Your family, you're very close to your family in Minnesota?
I am pretty darn close to my family in Minnesota. I'm the oldest of 6. And yeah.
And I know I met them on the cruise when we went to Alaska last year.
Yes, indeed.
And they did seem a little uncomfortable being around all the gays, but they were really nice, pleasant people. I think did they know there were going to be about 50 gays on the ship?
Well, we had talks about that, and I think for some of them it was a little more new than for others. But I'd have to say that by the end of the week, everybody had found a place where they were comfortable, and it seemed to work out.
It was great, yeah.
Definitely helped our friendship.
I know when I first met one of your brothers, they seemed like they were trying to be extra masculine, like, hey, big, hard handshake. And by the end of the week, they were a lot more relaxed. Of course, what we're talking about is we went to Alaska last year for Mike's 60th. Oh, my.
The big 60, yes.
Wow, he doesn't look a day over 40. 60 is
bless
a new 40. So.
It truly is. It truly is. It's all about moisturizer.
It's all about, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to do it myself. So what do you think of the stories today?
I would say that the last one was not as good, as strong as some of the earlier work.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. I thought there were some cute lines. But I would have to say it's pretty darn good for AI.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed is that obviously in this story, the Mike character is gay, and it kind of seems to focus on like stereotypical depictions of gay people, like the drama queen, and then like in the other one, it's talking about like the guy had a rainbow, he had a rainbow pitch or rainbow rake, as if gay people always have to have glitter and rainbows, and they're always drama, right?
I would agree that broad caricatures can frequently be, too broad.
Yeah.
But frequently caricatures are based on fact and,
Yeah, I know. Well, the puppies, I mean, gay people do have a little bit of drama. Let's be honest. In the group that we're both in this Sacramento Gay Men's course. So what's the plans for you for the future? What are we doing in the next 10 years?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, definitely going to be reading more AI.
Yeah, okay.
Probably some storytelling. But I think what the next 10 years will include will be my eventual retirement from my current position.
Yeah.
And more travel. I hope to, hoping for my health to stay good, I hope to travel and see more of the world. So,
you look like you're going to be another like 30 years, like gallivanting around the world.
We'll see.
So I always think about, so you're going to retire in like 2 years or something. Is there a big plan for the month you retire, like a big trip, or is it like you want to kind of ease into it?
I haven't really planned a trip. That's a good idea. Maybe that could be a good goal-setting opportunity.
Well, maybe you should take a group of your friends to another cruise somewhere.
Australia and New Zealand cruise is calling to me. Who knows?
You know what? The guy who led your cruise, what's his name again?
Hunt
is promoting an Australian and New Zealand cruise in 2027, in late 2027. Is that close to when you're going to retire?
Close.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought about it, but it's getting to Australia is expensive. So, but I would love to do it. I mean, how about the Mediterranean?
I've of all the times I've been to Europe, I have never traveled in France. So I really would love to do some travel, or Spain. I'd love to do some traveling in Spain and France. So
okay. Well, I've been to Spain, I've been to France, and they're beautiful. I prefer Spain. Like the beach towns in Spain are very nice, and that's where Terry lives. You can visit Terry. Yeah, he won't be like he won't get you up to anything like naughty at all. So wow, can you believe we've almost spoke for 40 minutes?
Unbelievable.
Well, yeah, it goes so fast. People always say when they come on the show that they're always nervous, like, what will I talk about for 40 minutes? And it always goes like that, right? It always just flies off. But
the power of AI to fill our minds and our mouths with words.
So what is something, because you're speaking to about 100,000 people, but by the time this releases, it could be 110. So what is a message you'd like to give to people? What's happening in the world, or what it's like to be LGBT for living in the community like you did for so long? I know I kind of, I put you on the spot there just right away. What's a message you'd like to give?
A message? What would be a message? I would have to say that grace is a powerful thing in our lives. And for many of us who have complicated relationships with organized religion, if we can extract the word grace from the paradigm of organized religion and think about extending grace to our friends and our family, I think that that's a really powerful concept to try to take the higher road, to try to see things through other people's eyes. And none of us will agree with every other person every time that we interact with them.
Yeah.
But I think that if we can, instead of digging our heels in every time, if we can stop and think about someone else's perspective and give them some grace, I believe that a lot of the challenges that we're facing in our world would be a little bit smaller.
Yeah, I agree. Jesus never talked about homosexuality, but he did talk about compassion, love, and inclusion. That's what he spoke about. If you think of God, like God is love, right? And love is love. So, I mean, that's really nice. That's a great thing to end with. Well, Mike, this was really fun. I hope you could come back again. I'd love to have you back, but thank you so much for coming on.
It was a true pleasure. I was glad to be here to share some story time, and I look forward to the next time we get to explore AI together.
Yes. And if you guys are listening to this, the Sacramento Gay Men's Chorus concert is very soon. By the time you listen to this, it'll probably be this weekend. So please go and grab your tickets to sacgamenschorus.com. And if you guys would like to get involved with the show, please go to I forgot my own website there, spirittalkshow.com. Thank you so much for listening. And now go please live a story worth telling. Thank you and good night.